Going on, team? Welcome back to Start Swing Trade, and it looks like we are in a fast market, as they say. Let's take a look here. The SPY coming down really quickly here now as we're getting this huge downturn out of nowhere. It seemed like we were starting to ride back up there above the VWAP and now taking a hard hit towards 362 or 363 on the Qs. So we'll see what happens today, but taking some shots out there. And the profit count, I'm up about 117 and trying to battle. I've been in all different types of stocks today. You guys can see that 117 right there. I just shorted Starbucks to see if this could go down again. I've been in and out of Starbucks multiple times today. I've made about, I would say about like $100 on the name. I just lost a little bit on Micron and lost some on ExxonMobil. I did make a good trade on NVIDIA on the earlier crack. When this cracked right back down from 413 towards the 11s, but didn't take this recent crack here towards 411. We'll see if it keeps going lower, and do we finally get some takedown in the Qs? It seems like that's what's happening right now, but of course, this could all change in an instant. Of course, we are going back through this kind of trend line. Will we come right back down through 362? That's the danger area, I feel like, if we really start kind of coming down here. Let's see what happens here, team, if we do get out, or do we get a spike right back to the upside? It seems like this is that type of market where you just don't know where the market's going to go, and all of a sudden, quick downturn and a quick scoop right back up. How we doing out there, team? What are you guys looking at? Let's catch up with you guys. I see Hammer, EKS, Sergeant Schultz, Kevin, of course, in the house. It's good to see you guys all. Matt, let's get to the action. What stock is catching your attention right now? I know there's a lot moving on right now, but let's go to, of course, the market. Let's see what is changing here. Tesla still up on the day, now starting to turn to the downside. This one has made multiple attempts to get back above on the 15-minute. Will it hold the 15-minute support here and get back to the upside? That's another trade that we could be looking at if I wanted to go long, right? Well, here you guys see it. Tesla holding on to this kind of rising, ascending triangle or descending triangle here. Descending because of where the trend line is. And the support line right here off this kind of 254.50 area. We'll look to see if it comes back up through the 257 today and makes a rip to the upside. I might get stopped out here in, of course, Starbucks. It is coming back here. So just got to be careful there, team. If this comes back up and stops me out, I'll show you guys that trade right now. It's back up there towards 98.30s here. I'll get stopped out at 32s. I'm like literally a penny away or penny two away from getting stopped out on Starbucks. I took another shot. And if I lose this one, yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a hit here. So I'll probably call it a day in the green versus pushing a little bit further. I tried to get a little bit ahead, tried to get this to that 200 win, and boom, just got hit there. The Qs coming down there, but not giving me the opportunity there in Starbucks. It came down for a second, right back up there towards the 98.32. So, hey, guys, I had some really good profits today. I just pushed it a little bit here towards the show, tried to get us a nice little short on Starbucks there, got stopped out, and not going to push it anymore, guys, because I've been deep into the green today. I've been trying to take myself to the next level in the account, but it just seems like I'm not getting it done today. So instead of pushing and giving up all the gains on the day, you guys saw I had 117. Now I only got 54. So I gave it a little bit of a shot there, pushed a little bit more, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. I thought we were seeing a little bit of a breakdown, but that's how this market is right now. Even when you're getting the first downside action, it's almost like you got to run towards the profits right now. I've talked about this on PreMarket Prep. I've talked about this on live trading. And of course, I'm going to talk about it with you guys here on Start Swing Trade. So we'll see what happens there. It definitely took a major hit to the downside there, the Qs, but then all of a sudden bouncing back. XOM holding above the 105 today. That's not a good sign, but overall, I'm not really too stressed about that. I'm just trying to keep my eyes on what's going on in the market. Do want to kind of bring up some new positions and some positions that are working for me today QS working for me today, of course. So you guys know I bought this on the pullback, looking for this to get back up through the 750s. Getting an alert right now for a stock I've been keeping an eye out for. THC with a big lift off today. We'll see if that can keep pushing higher. Of course, I've been watching this for kind of hospital stocks to get a lift, but nothing that I'm going to be trading right now. It doesn't look that great. I did take QS, of course. I talked about that. Will that keep going to 750s and 8? I'm up about 4% on that name. Going to watch to see if that can keep running higher. Starbucks swing trade is just slightly into the green, but it doesn't look good as we're starting to get a push in Starbucks now here to 98.40s and just going right back up. It seems like the Q is just playing a little bit of game here as they pulled back and could make a rip right back to the upside. Joby had a really nice lift off there today, and it definitely seems like it's starting to top out here in the 9s. I don't think it's going to continue going through that 9 again, but we'll see what happens there. Definitely getting that nice little lift, and Archer also running off of that news. And of course, these aren't stocks that I would keep my eyes on. Let's just be honest. Joby Aviation, to me, I don't think this is going to be a long-term stock by any means. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everybody is right on Joby. It definitely got the lift off today, but this is to me more like short squeeze type of stock. I don't really believe the story, and I don't think they're going to come out with anything anytime soon. But hey, they finally got approval for a test flight, and yeah, that makes sense for them to get the lift off of that. But do we really think that this is going to keep going? Nah, not for me. I'll leave that one alone. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on in the market. Let's go to the SPY. Let's see what happens here towards the close with the Qs. Let's go to Apple here. Let's see if that can stay strong. It's been strong all day. Now looking like it wants to come right back through that 189. And, of course, Tesla. Will Tesla make that move back to the upside? It just went to 254.48. Tapped it again. Will it recover here to 257? Doesn't look too bad. I like the pattern, but we'll have to wait to find out if it gets into the green. Microsoft. Microsoft coming down here towards 335. We'll look to see if this bounces. It's kind of sideways right now. I've just been trying to recover this trend line, but can't recover it right now. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on to see if Microsoft can hang on here, get back towards 340, or does it want to go to 330? That's the hard part there. All right, soft landing, Money Mitch. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens on that. You don't want to fly to conferences in one of those? No, I do not, Hammer. I do not. I don't know about you guys. I've seen enough that with these kind of little specialty kind of transportations that I probably wouldn't get in it. Or are you guys getting into SPCE today? That got a little bit of a lift there. Look to see if that can continue. Not my type of stock either. We'll find out what happens to those. All right, AI plus 6%. Can this one come back? I don't know, man. I think AI is kind of at least C3 AI. I don't believe in the long-term story. So I think this story is kind of broken already. It had its run. It got up there to 48. I think eventually this one probably goes right back towards 20. But that's just my long-term outlook on AI. I just don't like it. I just don't think – I saw their investing presentation. I saw what they had. Do they have any true competitive advantage? I don't think so. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Is that a cup and handle on QS? Yeah, you could kind of call it a cup and handle. Really, if it gets above 8. If it gets above 8, then maybe we can start calling it a little bit more of a handle, and then you're actually getting above that 8 and pushing higher. But it's going to take a while to get there. I'm just going to let this one continue to work. We'll see what happens. Home Depot pulling back after I just sold it yesterday. Well, it doesn't look like it was a bad sell at all. I'll look to see if it can come back to 304 and maybe just buy it right back for the upside move. Who knows? It almost filled the gap. It didn't get all the way up there yesterday, but I could see it maybe getting some dip buys if we especially get it back there towards the 304 spot. We'll see what happens there on Home Depot. EKS, but you're a short-term trader. Pay no attention to earnings or long-term outlooks. Yeah, that could be true, EKS, and I can't blame you for having that outlook. But I know that I'm a short-term trader, but I always keep earnings keep long-term outlook in mind. I don't know. It's just something that's a part of me. I look at story a lot, right? And story to me matters more than sometimes technical and fundamentals. Like two stocks that I've been watching get a lot of to their story is Snowflake. Snowflake getting a little bit of a lift off today, now pulling back here towards 183.80s. I think this looks like an opportunity if you think we're going to come right back up in the market to go ahead and take this snow right back to the upside here off this kind of 183 level. This doesn't look too bad here for a nice little 330 run here. The market wants to make a move back to the upside. I actually like this for a swing trade. Let's take a shot here off the 183. So I don't mind taking a shot here off the 183s. Just got a little bit there of snow for the swing trade account here. Got 184 tenths. So going to look to see if this can get back up there towards 189, 190s. I'm going to risk right here off the 83s. Doesn't look too bad here. We'll look to see if snow can get right back up there towards the 190s and get the lift. Another stock that has been in the news often is SoFi. So keep your eyes on names like this. I think these names could really kind of continue to lift. Unity, also another one that could continue to lift. Nice day today up there to 44. These are strong stocks right now, and I don't disagree with these stories. That's one thing I would say. Roblox did have their announcement today around 12:30s, and they got actually whacked on their announcements of AI. So it doesn't look like Roblox is going to be the best AI stock. I don't know exactly what was said in that investor conference, but it doesn't look good. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look around at the sectors. Energy up, leading the day. Technology right behind that. That's kind of strange. There's not many times we see energy and technology at the top. So we'll see which one gives up first. Consumer cyclicals grinding up higher. Of course, those are names like your auto, your restaurants, names like that. Not doing too bad on the day. Leisure, cruise lines, right? We've talked about the cruise lines. Carnival back up to 1733. What a liftoff, man. And really kind of kicking myself because definitely selling NCLH way too early. Sold it at 17. Maybe should have kept holding on as we're up there to 21.13s. RCL, did we get 100? Oh, we got 100 and holding 104.12s now on RCL. And you guys remember, right here is when I came back from cruise lines, a cruise myself, and I said, you know what? I'm bullish on these cruise lines. Look at that run, man. Look at that run that you guys got on a mention on pre-market prep. 60% on Royal Caribbean and CLH from that date down to where we are now. 54% CCL with that run. That's another one. That's like an 82% win. What a move in the cruise lines. Another area that I've been watching for a long time, the industrial sector, right? I've been talking about how that's been getting hot as of late and continuing strong. How did Deere and Cat do today? A little pullback, Cat kind of hanging in there. How's the Honeywell? Honeywell back above the 202s, holding the 200 for pullback. Still doesn't look too bad. GE right back up there towards 107 today, right back into the channel. You can't stop, won't stop on GE. And this is why I'm not getting in front of that thing. It just seems like it just keeps going higher. Let's go to the airlines. The airlines today, American Airlines up there to 1756. This was just down there in the pandemic numbers, team. This is why I thought that it was really good to maybe take a shot down there towards 13, 14s on American. That could have been a long-term position that I always will look back on and be like, man, should have just kept it. UAL up there to 56.44s. We'll see if this can continue to run. BAL all the way up there to 46.60. And it just seems like monster takeoff here from the airlines. And of course, if oil can keep coming lower, well, then these can keep going higher. We'll see if oil gets another spike, right? I've been keeping my eye on WTI today to see what would happen there. We did make one run to 70 and then turned right back around, right around the 69.70s and 69.80 area. Will we get back above the 70s? One thing that I'll be watching for tomorrow. If WT starts getting into like the 71 and 72, yeah, we got to take our money and run. But if it can come right back down to 65s, that's going to help the airlines. That's going to take down the oil trade and potentially make us a bigger return. We'll see what happens there. Raz says, man, you should go take another cruise. I should. One of my friends is about to go on a European cruise, so I'm a little jealous. I'm like, man, I want to take off tomorrow. European cruise? I'm about it. All right, let's see what happens, of course, in the market today. Let's go back to the SPY. Look how the Qs just recover right back to the VWAP. It just seems like we're going to play this little chop around the VWAP. And that's where it gets a little dangerous, trying to play, quick moves when you're really not moving too much in the index. All right, let's keep taking a look. We'll see what else is going on. Howdy, how's the shorts on RCL look? Well, I never took it. So the truth is I was looking at RCL to see if it was going to break down, but it never broke this trend line. So I drew that trend line and I was looking to see the next day to see if it was going to pull back a little bit just to get it back here towards like maybe 81 and then take some long again. But yeah, I never got in it. Should have maybe just gone long through the 100 because now you're up there towards 104 almost. It's been a nice move. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Cruise ships becoming the breeding ground for the norovirus as outbreaks hit decade high, not impacting cruise lines. Not interested in cruise with that spreading on a ship. I don't think so, man. EKS, I was on the ship. Trust me, I was breathing around, dancing around, drinking around. Nothing happened to me, my friend. But hey, if you guys want to be careful with that, hey, to each his own. But I tell you one thing, these cruises are packed, man, and they don't stop. All right. Hey, Mitch, do you have a long position in Hyliion? No, I do not have a long position in Hyliion, and I think about it often. I've thought about it multiple times down here, especially down there towards the 150s, Bug. I've thought about it multiple times. It's been close to that 150. And I've thought about just getting in there even when it was down here at 150. So I'm fighting myself maybe to add some shares and just get into this and just take a bigger position, see if it can come back to like 5 or 10. Because in the long run, I think they do everything right. And I can tell you from someone that has tried that truck and actually driven it compared to a diesel truck, and it just drives 10 times easier. Now, the only question is, what's the adoption rate? And how quickly are we going to adopt kind of this transition into the semi-trucks? One thing that I do see not mentioned often is the Tesla semi-truck. That thing's never get mentioned, man. What happened to that thing? It seems like it disappeared off the planet. And so I want to keep eyes on that because mentions of that could actually increase the value of Hyliion. So we'll see what happens there. And appreciate the question, Bug. I don't know if you caught the interview, but they definitely have some good products. And as being someone that actually drove the truck, it drove very smooth. The takeoff was very fast. If you guys haven't seen the test drive, I definitely would tell you guys to take a look at it. I can go ahead and look up the video for you guys if you guys want to go ahead and take a look at that. Let me actually see if I can get that ready for you guys. At least give you the link for that test drive, right? So let me go ahead and I'm pulling it up right here. And man, I'll tell you, if you haven't checked it out before, I would definitely check out that video. I'll throw it up here in the link. Here's the link here, chat, if you guys want to check out that test drive. All right, let's keep going. We'll get back to the market. Tesla. We talked about that setup for a move back up towards 257. Will it make the move? We'll find out. I'll tell you one thing, Starbucks driving higher right back here towards 98.50s. It just did not want to let go, man. Too much institutional action, I think, in Starbucks for it to get crushed by retail over some pride mentions. We'll see what happens. Boeing was one that I wanted to keep an eye out for. That's pulled back a decent amount. This morning had news that got it to lift off here towards 210, but didn't come all the way back there to 206. I think this one could get right back up there to 220s. It's something that I'd keep on watch. Of course, I've talked about XLI and kind of the industrials. This pulled back a little bit. This could just keep running. We'll see what happens to names like this. All right, let's keep going, team. If you guys got a ticker that's catching your attention, we'll make sure to touch it. Just throw it up in the chat. Consumer cyclical, we've talked a little bit about this space. We've talked about industrials. What got hit today? Utilities taking a hit, and we've talked about how this tends to come down, but it's just a very slow leak. Stocks like Duke, Excel Energy, Nextera Energy, all those types of stocks starting to come down. Defensive names taking a hit here, starting to pull back. And so this is not the area that I would be looking to try to buy the dip in. Take a look at Hershey's. Hershey's really getting a smack today, right back to the downside. And so with this one being said, I'd look at Mondelez to get hit also. And so this one still hasn't cracked, but it has nice resistance right towards that 74. This one doesn't look too bad here, even for an end of the day short, man. I'll tell you that right now. This doesn't look bad at all. I'm going to keep this one on my radar. MDLZ, Mondelez. Will it take a downside action turn here and just come through those lower levels? Of course, you guys can take a look at that 4-hour chart. And if it comes back through 72.50s, this looks like it wants to come back towards 70, 69. Of course, this is not the biggest mover. It only moves about, let's say, about $1 on the day. So we'll see if this gets the cut down. It's already done about $1 move, so I don't think it's going to do the cut down today. But I will be watching this stock to maybe get short on a little bit of a move down there towards 72. We'll see what happens. It's on its way to Mars. Mitch looked so young in that video. It was only a year ago, man. What are you telling me, Smoke Tuna? You telling me I'm getting old here? All right, we'll see what else is going on. Mitch, well, I did take a position in Hyliion because of that interview with the CEO, and I'm long at an average cost of 169. My man, taking a shot. Can't blame you. It's up there to 179 at least, so at least you got in on a decent day. Of course, I tried to do my best to cover that stock, and I thought it was pretty interesting on the Carno generator and what potential reward that could get them, right? Because the truth is, it gives them a different lever to pull on just in case that one takes off to the moon. Well, they could just pull on that lever. The ERX Hypertruck is one that I really want to focus to see if the production really kicks off. For production of the first one is starting right now, and I want to see the first delivery, and I want to start seeing that a bunch of these start getting what? More redeliveries, right? And so what do I mean by redeliveries? So another order placed, like there's going to be an order here for DSV to get about 10. Let's see if those kind of do another reorder, right? Just keeps ordering more and more. And that's one thing that we need to look out for on Hyliion. I'll keep up with the story and let you know. All right, let's keep going to the other stocks there. Defensive names. You guys can keep an eye out on those names, but like Coke coming right back down, Pepsi, PG, looks like it probably could come right back down. We'll see what happens on this one. This one's been hanging in a little bit more, but you guys see the downturn that happened in Kellogg's. General Mills also taking a big beating here. KHC. Well, that one keep coming down. Look at that one, just fading off there. You guys remember I was looking to see if maybe it was going to get a bounce. If anything, it's gone lower, lower, and lower. We'll see what happens there on Mondelez. Dividend tomorrow. Well, I won't get in front of it today, but maybe tomorrow we take a shot on that one. All right, let's go to Snow. Snow is looking good here, but now it's pulling back here. It doesn't look the best. We'll see if it's able to hang on towards that kind of like 183 levels. Don't want to break too much there. I'm setting the stop just in case I got to get out by the end of the day. I set a stop there at 182.72 to see if it breaks down that. If it does, I'll just get out of Snow for today. And this is how sometimes my swing trades can become day trades. I think that's an important thing. Always risk preservation first, then reward. All right. Do you also see the future, Easy? Hey, I mean, if you do, let me know. All right. We'll see what else is going on. I heard Tesla sold 37 semis. Honestly, I haven't heard anything good come out of those semi trucks. I think Tesla stays quiet for a reason. Nothing's good coming out of them right now. If they were, you don't think they would be talking to us about it? That's just what I would think. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other stocks in the market to see how they're performing on the day. We can go to here, just the Qs, see what had the best move to the upside and best moves to the downside. Lucid keeps jumping. Look at that. Day 2 move here, almost back here towards the 650s. Now you're starting to run into a little bit of overhead supply around the 662, and I'd put it back up there towards 690s, but doesn't look too bad here as it starts to turn around and get a little bit of the squeeze back to the upside. Can this keep going? Maybe a little bit more, but I wouldn't give it too much. All right, Melly having a decent day. Of course, that's probably showing Amazon. Amazon actually closing red here. It was stronger earlier. Took a real hit there in the afternoon. I didn't even see that one take that big of a hit, but definitely big pullback there. So let's go back here. Let's go back to the major winners here to see how those are performing. Melly having a decent day. Datadog continuing on that move. This one trying to get back through the 100. We'll look to see if it gets through that. Tesla. Will it make that move up here? It got up through that level and then rejected it right back on the VWAP. We'll see what happens there. Google trying to control and keep going higher through that 120 after pulling back yesterday, and it didn't get into the gap zone. That's one thing that I'm keeping in mind because it's just coming right back up. Netflix coming back towards 432. We're going to see if this one can continue grinding higher, and will it make it back there towards 450? Will it make a 500 run? Man, Netflix hasn't really taken a downturn in a long time. I don't know if I'd bet against Netflix, but it's been a big run. Marvell also having a decent day today. This one just hanging sideways and doesn't want to cut through underneath into the gap. So we got to keep this one on watch. If Micron could have a good earnings report tonight, who knows? Marvell could be right back up there to 64, 68, and 70 tomorrow. So I'll keep this one on watch. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on in the chat. What's going on out there? What are you guys talking about? What do you guys see? Daniel, no, but he saw what you did last summer. Oh, man, you guys are getting funny in the chat. All right, let's see what else is going on there. Pfizer being called out in the chat. Let's take a look at there. Pfizer's not one that I want, man. Poor Pfizer's done for now. Poor Pfizer's been done, man. This thing has tried to bounce plenty of times here in the 40 and looks like it wants to just keep coming right back down. What about Moderna? They tried to get saved. They're coming back a little bit. Doesn't look as bad as some of these. Johnson & Johnson? Right back up, but starting to fade away. Right around the similar levels. So you can see here not being able to hold above the 165. We'll see if it comes back towards the 160. Q's overall just hanging in there and going sideways, not doing anything. Just literally, just do something, Q's. Go down, go up, do something. I'll tell you one thing. This is one of those days where over trading can definitely cost you. All right, let's keep going. What other ones are being mentioned in the chat? What's up out there, Coyote? How we doing? Coin, what do you see there? Let's see what happens on Coin. Let's see. This was strong yesterday. Today, continuing right back up here, but comes into kind of daily resistance. And so that's one thing that I would look at is that you're not really getting that kind of push higher here. So I think you're starting to kind of top out here. So just be careful. 75, that area seems like there's some selling really close to 74. We'll look to see if we get back through 74, but you can see a little bit of a turnaround right after you got through that 74 today, 74.31. It could still make a little bit of a run, but I think it's starting to slow down a little bit. And I'm not the biggest fan of Coin, just to put that out there. And we'll see if it can continue making a lift. I'd look at more like a Mara or a Riot if I wanted to play kind of cryptocurrency for another run. We'll see what happens there. All right, there's a lot of names in there, so I want to keep going. Okta News, let's take a look there. Okta. Let's take a look. Is any big jump? Yeah, there was a big jump there. Let me see if there's anything in the news in the report here. 3 AI stocks to buy for triple returns. No, come on, man. That's not anything I want to be paying attention to. That's just a headline at 334, but I don't think that's what moved it here. This was kind of just a little bit of an uplift as of recent. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart is just hanging on off that 200-day. We'll see if it makes a move up. Not a stock that I play by all means. So if you guys know a little bit more about Okta, maybe you guys can give Cressy some edge there. I don't see an edge. All right, let's go to ChargePoint. ChargePoint trying to make a move back here towards 8. What made this downturn, of course, is Tesla's news that a lot of people are switching to kind of more the Tesla chargers. Will ChargePoint ever really start building all these charging stations? That's what I need to hear. I need to hear that they're just building and building and building charging stations. If not, I'm done with these charging stations. It doesn't seem like any of them are going to go into our favor, at least for the green. And so unless I hear construction like kicking off projects, thousands and thousands of them promised to me, or the government giving these companies the money, I just don't see them coming back. They might just leak out completely. All right, we'll see what else is going on in the market. Is this a top for Apple? Can't call it, man. I don't think anybody can. That's the hard part. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at another one. Carvana. Carvana making a big move up there through the 28s, back up there and holding that pullback of 22. It's just continuing. Now I'd look for pullbacks to hold around 25.50s and for it to keep going towards the next level. I'm glad I changed my outlook long-term on Carvana. I've talked about it. I was really short, trying to call this one to zero. It got down pretty cheap. I mean, went down there to 369. It's back up there to 28. You're talking about a 600% win there if you had it from $3. What a move, man. What a move in Carvana. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. What is this thing happening aftermarket? What do you mean, Raz? What is happening aftermarket? We'll take a look. AMC. Let's take a look. AMC. All right, AMC coming back here at the 420s. Maybe could fill that gap there to 450s, but that's all I see there, man. There's not much. All right, GNRC, Generac. Generac back up there to 150. This was a call out from Mark Chaikin on a day where this stock started pulling back. He called it right here on Wednesday, the 21st. It's up there to 148 now. Can this get back through the 150s and really just start climbing its way back? It could. And I think if you get a big storm, maybe like a hurricane to actually show up, this could actually move a little bit more. We'll see what happens. Pullbacks towards around 136. 135 is what I'd be looking for, but you're already ways from there. You're almost up there to 150s. So I'd look for a little bit of a fill in this gap if it does come back. But other than that, it's still looking bullish right now. Adobe falling. Oh, man, it came back to stop me out at 489, and it said, you know what, Mitch? We've stopped you out now. Yeah, we'll come after you. Yeah, you know what? We'll get you out, and then we're going to drop this thing like a tank. Well, it looks like it, team. It looks like Adobe coming back here to the 480s. I'm not going to be getting in now. Wanted to be closest to 500 as possible. We'll look to see if this cuts right back down and keeps on the downturn. All right, trying to keep going here. Blink and ChargePoint have been building charging stations in my area. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, they have been building, but not nowhere near as much to give them the potential upside to their investment. That's what I see. All right, Open Door. That had a decent day today. I did see that get a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a squeeze higher. And of course, Zillow starting to push higher, right? And it looks like Zillow Group might actually be turning around here, team. I know that we've been getting some kind of recent decent housing numbers, but Zillow Group, not a bad little move here. Not a stock that I trade often, so I'm going to leave it alone. But it is turning around and continuing back to the upside. Banking stress test after the market. I don't stress too much about that. To tell you the truth, unless something really surprising shows up, I think it's a nothing burger. But we'll find out, Kevin, tomorrow. Micron earnings after the close. And yes, I tried to take a little bit of a long into Micron for this little bit of a move here through the 67. It stopped me out just recently. We'll see if it gets a little bit of a love move now back through that 67 and then just climbs right back up here towards the move, towards its earnings. Of course, you could try to take a shot on that for earnings tonight, but I'm not an earnings type of player. I'm more reactionary off of the earnings. We'll find out. All right, let's see what else is being called out in the chat. You keep getting hunted or too tight. I mean, 10 points. 10 points, Hammer. On Adobe, remember, I did take a lot of profits, right? And so don't worry about that. It's not like I didn't take profits. I took profits down there towards 470s, but I was all the way up there to 490s. That's a 20-point move back up where I'm getting hunted. So it's how it is sometimes, man. It's how it is. And another thing to keep in mind is that I can't kind of keep my watch on my positions 24/7 because sometimes I have to set stops because the truth is I got so much to work here on. I got to do an interview on Hyliion, right? Things like that. Well, the truth is I can't watch my positions 24/7. If I could, trust me, I wouldn't set a stop at all. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Driving and texting is not recommended. 100% not recommended by the show. Mitch can only buy Burlington for earnings. Dude, don't talk about that one, Smoke Tuna. Don't talk about that. I got smoked on Burlington on earnings. And what was I doing? I was shorting it. And what day was that day that I was shorting it? The lines will tell you it, man. It was right up here, March 1st. And I was trying to short this thing, man. And it just popped back up and stopped me the hell out. And then just went lower, lower, and lower. And so sometimes I'm going to get this. This was a real nice head and shoulder at the top. I just missed it because this day their earnings came out and I just got wrecked. The earnings popped it just enough to get me out. And then that same day, they flushed it at the open. And it's down there to 151. Burlington, man. I got smoked. All right, let's see what else is going on there. I use stops too, even if I could watch it. Nah, I mean, if I could watch it 24/7, I actually don't like using stops all the time because, to tell you the truth, stops are how you get hunted a lot of the times. The market makers just take your shares and then all of a sudden the stock goes in your favor. I've seen it happen plenty of times. Target mentioned in the chat, bouncing back a little bit. Nothing that I want to get after there. BJ was one that I had a little while ago, now starting to prop back up towards 63. This one doesn't look too bad and could get moving back to the upside. I actually don't mind BJ at all as it's starting to get back up there and starting to hold 62 on pullbacks. I'll look to see if this can get to 64, 67, maybe all the way up there to 69 for a gap fill on BJ. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. I did open a new position in here for a swing trade, and this is based off the daily chart. Alert that set off there for me through this trend line. Looking for a move back up above 12 and a move towards 13. And that would make a nice liftoff for me. I got 1145. It's at 1156 right now. We'll see if this can keep going. They're never going to let you forget about that Burlington short. Yeah, honestly, I will never forget about that one. That same day just cost me. And that's how it is sometimes, team. That's the truth. Nike on Thursday reports, and so maybe they're running it into the report. Let's see what happens here, or will they knock it down? So today they pulled it back a little bit. Let's see if it takes a lift off tomorrow through the 114 level, and Nike takes a lift off before their earnings on Thursday. Of course, this is going to be an interesting report tomorrow. Don't miss that. That's after the bell tomorrow, and then we'll see if Nike can get a little run into their earnings. So this could have been a little bit of a dip buy to get into. I'm not taking the shot today, but I'll keep my eye on it for tomorrow. All right, Walter saying, always try to enter where I think the stops are if a bigger swing. Yeah, and that's true. You want to give yourself a little bit of room, not vary that exact spot, and that's going to happen sometimes. Nike report today? No, they report tomorrow after the bell, Thursday after the bell. Today is Micron's earnings. That's going to be the most focused one today. Joby, where is it at? Let's go to it. All right. Well, it's there at 9. I don't think this is going to keep going through 9:14. I think this is kind of done, but that's just my outlook, team. Big thing for me is that this is like a huge run that's gone like on a 15-minute. Can it keep going? It could. It could keep squeezing higher here towards the close. I'll tell you one thing. I'll be looking to see if I can short Joby in the prop account tomorrow, because I think this could come right back down there towards like 8. And so you got to be careful with a short like that. But to tell you the truth, I think this had no business being up there at 9 or 10. But that's just my outlook. Doesn't mean that I'm right. It's just the way I look at it. All right, we'll see what else is going on. Never put stops at round figures. I agree. I don't like to put them at round figures. I usually look for resistance and put it slightly above that resistance as kind of more of a protective stop a lot of the times. Can I check AXP? Wally wants to take a look at that. I got no problem. Let's take a look at that. American Express up there towards 170. Can this keep going to the upside? Of course, you could take a look here on the daily. It's trying to catch the bounce right around that 166 to come right back up there towards 172 and 174. We'll look to see if this can get back up there towards the 180s, but it does have a longer term trend line where it is trying to hold on the weekly. One thing I would say about American Express is keep your eyes on kind of like the monthly chart. This is this type of stock that doesn't really go on kind of dailies. I would look at weeklies and monthlies to see how they're setting up. Same thing I look at in MasterCard, and I look at the same thing in Visa. So I look at a lot of the times the weekly charts on these because they make more sense. So you can see here, I've drawn this line on Visa. When did I create this? I created this on October 26th, 2022. And you guys can see, I've even been watching for this to run from here. And now we've been running and continuing to climb higher. AXP, I would expect the same. Kind of that break up to the upside, holding the pullbacks. Now you just got to keep it watching to see if it wants to climb higher. It's not bad ones to have a little bit of a piece. AMC about to fill in that gap. Yeah, I could see it fill in that gap, but that's about it, really. I don't see anything more than that 450. All right, we'll see what else is going on there, team. We trade off the second standard deviation VWAP. Not too bad. Carvana with RS99. Oof. Carvana with a big push. I mean, my RSI at least is at 866. Where does this stock get to extreme? 90. So it could still run good ways from here, at least I feel. Snapchat continuing higher with Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest back up there to 2808 today. Filled this whole gap up and continuing going. So Pinterest not looking too bad here towards the 2808. And that's why Snap is running. I honestly think it has nothing to do with Snap. It's all sympathy off of pins. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other stocks out there. It's about 3:50. There's about 10 minutes left in the market. Let's see what we can get into maybe here towards the end. Of course, I did take snow, got stopped out in snow through that 8270, and it could come right back up, right? It's right back up there. Stop me out just right into that. And this was kind of one of those that I was going to look to try to get a big push back to VWAP first, sell some, and then look for the swing. I like to do those type of trades because what it does is it lets me get a little bit of profit, then I can break even on the rest. But just doesn't look good. And just as I talked about JOBY, looks like it doesn't want to go back above the 9s. It's right back below into the 899. And if it lets this one go, I don't think it's going to get that 920 run. It could pull back here towards like 850 and maybe run again tomorrow. But I could see this one. And I could see some profit taking right now into the 350 hour. Yeah, there's some profit taking right before the bell. Some people are starting to get scared a little bit. All right, let's take a look here at some different stocks. Of course, in the SPY, what is getting hit today? That's what I want to take a look at versus what is doing well. Let's see what got hit the most. ALB, Hershey's, we've talked a little bit about that. CF, so that tells me agriculture inputs are getting really whacked. General Mills, it looks like a theme. Looks like a lot of value names, nothing that is too high on growth. The only thing I see high on growth that's pulled back is Lilly. And that tells me be careful there, team. If Lilly is going to pull back in healthcare, we might see a deeper pullback in healthcare. So I know that I was looking for Merck to continue to the upside, but that quick pullback gets me a little bit concerned that we could see a deeper pullback in these stocks. Just be careful out there, team. Of course, Regeneron got smacked yesterday, continuing to get smacked today. I talked about it. I don't like the IBB anymore. It doesn't look good. These biotechs, this is bouncing today, but I think this could keep going lower, and we'll see what happens. XBI, another way to kind of take a look at this, and you can see how that one's falling off. All right, we've taken a look at MU multiple times, joyful today. So if you're just joining in, just zoom back a little bit. You'll see Micron. We've taken a look at that outlook. I even took a trade on Micron earlier today. We'll see what happens. All right, it's about 3:52 here. We got about 8 minutes left. Can we get a little bit of some move? I think Root has the most potential. Root, oh man, that finally started getting moving again. Yeah, it got a little move here towards 12. This one could push right back up there to 14, 15s. Of course, there was a mention of this getting bought out at 19. So it looks like some people are just taking shots off of that. I don't know anything about Root. I like the name, though. That's the only thing I can tell you. And I just like it literally for the name, Root. We'll see what else is going on out there, team. It doesn't look like it's going to be a day where we're just going to have this huge close here. But we'll see what happens. SPY still holding green, right? And so I know that we were looking to see if we were going to break down today, but looks like we're still holding in there. And we did not break down today, and going to probably close green on this candle. So overall, tech holding in here and not just getting wiped out today. The chips got wrecked this morning, but they bounced back. Will they hold the bounce? That's what we got to be thinking about overnight, right? We've been seeing too many of this, right? Down, up, crash. Move back up, crash. Move back up. Will this crash later, or will it crash overnight? That's my question. It seems like we're getting the better trades overnight than we are getting in the morning. But, I mean, let's just be honest. You got to wake up early to take the profits, because even this trade on NVIDIA, you would have to have woken up at like 440, 450 to take the best profits in NVIDIA this morning, because it was right back up there to 418. So it shows me that the volatility is pretty high, and traders are probably just getting stopped out in between this versus taking trades at the bottom of this or at the top of this range. And so that just goes to show me that probably over trading going on a lot in NVIDIA, and really not determining on where this is going. This is coming down, bouncing, coming down, bouncing. Eventually, it could come down through that 360, 396, or even back up through 430s. That's the truth. Got to be careful on a stock like this. Mitch likes Baby Groot. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to lie. That's probably where I like it from, Sydney. I don't know why. I just think Groot, Groot, Groot. It gets in my head, man. It is what it is. ETF are for seniors. ETFs are for seniors. I like that one. What about maybe a SOX S trade, right? I could think about maybe something like that tomorrow. We'll see what happens here. If this starts to get back up above 1050s going towards 11. I tried to play the SQQQ today. I got stopped out. Tried to get there through there. I got 1980s. Played it up. It got up there towards 1995, but never got through that 20 spot. That's a big level for me to watch on the SQQQ. All right, that's going to do it for us today, team. It's about 3:55. I'm going to wrap it up today. I hope that you guys were able to catch my interview today on Hyliion. We talked about this multiple times, even during this show. Look like it's up there to 180 now. Doesn't look like my interview did too bad. At least from what I can see on the stock price action. But I know that someone in the chat took a position on it based off the interview. So if you guys weren't able to catch that, I'll tell you guys what. I'm going to throw up here the ride and drive experience one more time. So if you guys didn't see the ride and drive experience, this is that link to see the actual test drive of Money Mitch. And trust me, I test drove it. I kicked it. When our producer Rohan was in the back, trust me, he flew back because he was trying to get the camera a little closer to me. You can tell. Oh, I kicked it a lot. Oh man, it was a good time. Let me just say that, of making that semi get a little kick in there. And then also, of course, if you guys want to go ahead and check out the actual interview, I want to give you guys the link exactly to go ahead and check that out. Let's give you guys a link that could get you really close to the start time there. So just give me 1 second here to give you guys that link. It'll take 2 seconds here. All right. Getting it right now. There it is. All right, there we go. That's going to get you pretty close here. So here's the link, guys, for you guys to catch the interview and go directly to that. That was this morning on PreMarket Prep. Throwing up that link and wrapping it up here, team. I hope you guys enjoy the markets, enjoy what we do here on Benzinga, giving you guys really the latest in technology and investment trends. And of course, covering the stock market, covering some swing trade action, some trading action today, only 54 into the green, was up a decent amount today. So pushed it a little bit in the prop account, maybe a little too much. You guys can see it here. Look how much I was trading today, guys. It was a trading session, that's for sure. And you guys can see there. What do you guys see? Some gains, some losses, right? Biggest losses, 73, 62, 25. Biggest gains. And these are, of course, piecing out, right? Starbucks 73, Starbucks 60, Starbucks 50, Starbucks 40. NVIDIA with a nice little 40 win. I told you I got a nice little win there in NVIDIA. We'll see what happens, team. You're going to keep trying to battle in the prop account. Of course, you guys can check that out down below for Trade the Pool if you guys want to take a little bit of a look into what prop account I'm working with. All right, smash the like, guys. I'll see you guys like always in the morning. Pre-market prep. Don't miss it. We're always live 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. And if you guys haven't gotten my Twitter post every single morning, I don't know what you're waiting for to get your news. Of course, I do the Sunrise Report. And what's the Sunrise Report, you guys might be asking? It's all the news, all the topics that you might want to know before the market opens. And I get it to you at 8 a.m. Check out my Twitter at MoneyMitchBZ if you want to get that. We'll see you next time, team, right here.